Right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Nightly Sports Call.
All right, Ken, thanks very much. Owamabe Odigizua. I'm Bob Pompeani, and that's one of the names I'm working on for the New York Football Giants in preparation of the game on Friday night. So, Gene Collier, I know you love those names. Preseason names come, and you look at them and you think, how many syllables do I got to remember from this guy? So, that's what we're looking forward to. Our first preseason game is Friday night at the Giants. Should be interesting to see with some of these young Steelers and what they have to do. Coming up at 11 o'clock, tune in because we have a feature on Mike Matthews, a young offensive lineman who is from the Matthews family tree, which is a pretty fruitful one in the NFL. Bob Pompeani, Gene Collier with you tonight. It's 412-575-2600. You can tweet us at KDPomp, at Gene Collier. Pirates win again, and they do it behind the strong pitching of a rookie, Trevor Williams, who to me has been one of the under-the-radar stories this year as far as consistency. Gene Collier from the Post-Gazette, outstanding columnist, is here. And Gene, this is a guy, when you look at what his performance has been, pretty amazing considering that he's a rookie, considering he's gotten very little run support. He won his 5th game tonight. You can go back and look. He probably could have 8 wins to this point, which for a rookie is pretty good stuff, don't you think?
Well, I think he's been terrific. You know, he obviously stepped in there for Tyler Glasnow when that didn't work out. That was the second week in June, I believe, and he's been sensational, relatively sensational ever since. You know, it's funny, he reminds me a lot of a rookie in 1980 by the name of Bob Walk. And as a matter of fact, he stands on the rubber exactly the same way. I even asked Walk about that one time, and he said, oh, yeah, that's right. But Trevor Williams is a guy that, you know, if you watched him tonight, you saw a pitcher who can really locate up and down, in and out, knows what he wants to do. He doesn't get terribly flustered. You know, I'm not saying he's going to win 20 games, but he's really solidified the rotation. The Pirates have used only 6 starters. That's the fewest in the major leagues. So nobody can really complain about their starting pitching.
Pretty good stat there, Gene. Yes, 6 starters. There was a time when they would go through 15 in one season, bringing up all sorts.
Last year. Sure.
Yeah, right. and that's impressive, and it also goes to show you how consistent Trevor Williams has been.
Right.
Also, John Jaso with a pinch hit 2-run home run. This is a guy that I always talk about as being a really good part of a team as long as it's on the bench or as a role player. But when you put him in a starting situation time and time again, over and over again, I think you see some of the worst of him. He's real good off the bench, and he was again tonight. Pinch hit 2-run home run, Gene.
John Jaso is one of those classic guys that gets what managers call overexposed. If he bats 4 times a game, pitchers figure him out. If he comes off the bench late, he looks for a pitch, a certain pitch. He looks for it early in the count, and he can help you. But he can't help you when he's on the field all the time.
Joe Block tweeted out tonight, in the years since 2014, 15, 16, 17, nobody has a better pinch hitting OPS than John Jaso. So that tells you where his bread is buttered. It's off the bench, and he did a pretty good job. So the Pirates win. The Cubs play tonight, and if the Cubs should lose at San Francisco, the Pirates would be 3.5 behind. So realistically, Gene, what do you think their chances of winning a division are?
I'll stick at about 10%, Bob. That's about where I think they are. I mean, they do have, you know, consistent starting pitching, but not great starting pitching, and everything else is pretty inconsistent. So, you know, I don't see them, you know, climbing over Milwaukee, and certainly not Chicago.
No, I agree with that, and we'll see. There's too many teams to climb over. However, they can make it interesting as they move along.
Sure.
Andrew McCutchen. You know, let me ask you this, Gene. We see we're in the, you know, the metrics era where people are coming up with analytics and sabermetrics and all these different measurements. And Andrew McCutchen still has one of the worst numbers in this regard. But my eyes tell me he's having a very solid season in center field defensively. I realize his arm's not strong. I realize, you know, over the years he's not maybe as quick as he is, but he's still, he made a beautiful catch tonight. He made a beautiful catch yesterday. I could rattle off 6 of them that I could think of at the top of my head from this year. He seems to be playing very comfortably in center field, and he's doing it the way he wants to do it. He's not in too shallow. He's playing deep, which may allow a hit or two to get in. But how do you assess his overall defense?
Well, I'll say this, Bob. It's a world better than last year. Now, last year it was really, really bad. But the thing I've noticed about him in particular this year, Bob, is that he has eliminated the sliding catch, or more accurately, the attempted sliding catch. You young players should know any catch that you slide for, you can catch without leaving your feet. Run through the ball. Don't do that. It always amazed me that Andrew McCutchen could be an all-star center fielder and play years in the big leagues without learning that. But this year, if you notice, his spectacular catches are diving catches where he stretches out for balls and not when he tries to slide to them. I think that's a big improvement in his defense.
Yeah, that's a good call. I agree with that assessment. I think when he's getting to those balls in the gaps, he is really stretching out and he's coming up with some pretty good plays. All right, we have a lot to get into as always. Whatever you want to opine about is on the table right here, right now. It's 412-575-2600. That's the number. Call us on the Borders and Borders hotline, and we'll discuss with you next right here live on Pittsburgh CW.